What's up, fellas? Had a loyal patron supporter that wanted to know questions you should ask a woman on a first date. All right, guys, and I'll classify this video as a purple pill video because basically, as red pill guys, really all I need to know is lube or unlube. Really, I don't all this. I kind of roll with the punches. I don't really go in with a script of questions I should ask a woman. I kind of like just go with, like, as the conversation happens, then I just flow in the conversation. But if you are purple pill, now we're dealing with emotional vulnerability. So now there are some questions you should ask if you're a guy that's seeking a relationship or want a relationship. Okay, you might not be seeking a relationship, but you're open to a relationship. I'm not open to a relationship under no circumstances, unless it's polyamorous, baby. But let's get into the questions. Number one, guys, how long she's been single. So AMS has had 3 heartbreaks in his life. In his long, I don't want to say my age, because, you two guys might get this in 2056. You never know. But I'm old, and I've had 3 heartbreaks in my life. And just for all you guys who are wondering what a heartbreak is, that means, bitches, you still want the bitch, but the bitch didn't want you no more. All right? She moved on, but you still care. That's a heartbreak. Just breaking up with a girl, that's not a heartbreak. That if you didn't want her no more, or you was indifferent, that's not a heartbreak. Heartbreak means, yeah, I still wanted her, she didn't want me. All 3 of these happened in my early 20s. All right. 1, I fell on hard times financially. I wouldn't even say this was hypergamy, right? It wasn't like a guy with more money, for as I know of, with more money came into the picture. My ass just was quitting jobs left and right, and she got tired of struggling with my ass. Okay. The other time was when I was very insecure, when I had this baddie. She was a 10 with change left over, right? And I was very insecure with her. I used to be calling her, why you didn't answer the phone why you didn't answer the phone on the first ring and all this, that, all that. Because she was super hot, guys. I was at the mattress company at the time, and quite frankly, she was out my league. It was luck that I got her, right? I was not, I wasn't fat, but I went in the gym, you know what I'm saying? So I was at that stage where, you're not really fat, but you ain't working out either. That makes sense, So it's not like I had a great body. It's not like I had a great job. And she was in college, bad as hell, certified 10, and she was just bad. I don't know the way to say it now. Y'all guys, she was bad. I don't throw that word around often, but she was bad. And I was even when she would come to lunch, bring me lunch at the job, all the guys at the mattress company be like, how the hell you get her? Because they look at me like, you out here at the mattress company, how the hell you get a bad chick like that? I don't fucking know luck, I guess. So I don't know. It's not like I was working out. It's not like I was wearing these suits, baby. It was pre-suits, right? So I guess just luck, right? Right time, right place, right? Because sexual market value wise, if you guys was to see me then, and like I said, it's not that I was fat, but I wasn't working out either. I just, average, wasn't working out, but wasn't fat either. Average job, deuce and a quarter, Buick deuce and a quarter, 1977 deuce and a quarter, right? But I did have my own crib, did have my own car, did have a job, but she was bad. So I was very insecure with her, right? So ran her off with being insecure or whatever, always accusing her of cheating or whatever. Just very insecure, couldn't handle the disparity in sexual market value. Let's just put it like that. I couldn't handle that. She was on a sexual market value, guys. If I'm being honest, she was out of my league at that time. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Now I know you guys, well, no woman that shut that hell up. Yes, hell it is. Yes, hell it is. There's no woman out your league, AMS. Yes, hell it is, guys. I don't give out participation trophies, guys. I only state the truth. And for what I had financially, and for how she looked, My money didn't match up to the way she looked. Just point blank, period. Okay? So I'm just putting that out there. So I was very insecure about that, right? And you see that when y'all watch some of these documentaries, if y'all go on the Twisted Crimes YouTube channel, you see some of the women being unalived by guys who are not financially doing good, and the woman don't want them no more because the woman is sexual market value wise is out of their league, right? They don't got nothing going for themselves. And I'm not saying all the cases, right? But the men ain't got nothing going on for themselves, and the woman is doing better than them, right? And she looks okay. And so you have these disparities in sexual market values, right? So that thing exists, guys. So I'm just being honest. And so ran her off with being insecure. But the other one was a woman. That rant went on way too fucking long. But the other one was a girl who had recently broke up with her boyfriend, and I didn't know. And I remember towards the end when I was messing with her, she started pulling back a little bit. And then one day she sends me a text basically letting me know that her and her ex had been talking, and that's why she had been pulling back and holding back and all this other type of shit. And so I got my heart broken in. All these happened before I was 25 years old. Okay? So when y'all hear me make these videos, understand that I have a world of knowledge and experiences, right? All these happened before I and actually, guys, I've been out of the relationship business since I was like 27 years old. Since I was like 27 years old, I've been out of the relationship business. So 27, 28, somewhere along up in there, I just been dating, right? Had a lot of situationships, but never a commitment. Haven't been in a committed relationship since I was 27, 28 years old. So I suffered all them. I could have saved myself. I could have saved myself on all of them. For one, if I was more responsible and kept a fucking job with the girl who I was talking about with hypergamous. The second one with the girl I was insecure about, if I would have just understood that money didn't drive her. She didn't care about money. I didn't understand that. I always thought that every woman it's about that dollar. It's about that dollar. She didn't care about that. And I didn't have enough wisdom and living experience to understand that money don't drive. It's not the prime driver of every woman. She just liked it me. Personality, the way I made her feel was her prime motivator, not money. And see, I didn't know that at the time. I thought money was just, she gonna meet a dude with big rims and she gonna start fucking with me and she gonna cheat on me. I didn't have enough life experience to not understand that it ain't all about money. All right, guys. And on the last one, if I would have just asked her the question, hey, so how long you been single? And she would have said, oh, well, I've been single 3 months. I would have known not to emotionally invest so heavily in a woman who just got out of a relationship. Okay, guys? So that's what I'm saying. So the reason I want you guys to ask these questions, because that tells you how much to invest. Do y'all guys understand that? How much to invest? There's a reason the companies that are on the S&P 500, they have to release, reports, financial reports and stuff, so their investors can read their financial reports and stuff, because this lets their investors know how much to invest into the company. If you've been losing money the last 15 years, I'm not going to invest a whole lot of money into you unless you can show me that it was due to reinvestment. So see, y'all gotta stop me from ranting, man. This thing finna go way off the rails, but I gotta explain my talking point, right? So a lot of people get mad that rich people don't pay a lot of taxes. Well, the reason they don't pay a lot of taxes, guys, because they reinvest all of their money and then they report a loss. They report a loss. So let's say a company makes $20 million this year, business-wise, gross, right? Made $20 million gross, but I reinvest $21 million. Well, I don't pay no money on the $20 million that I made. Do y'all guys get that? So if you somebody who gonna invest into a company and you see that they took losses due to reinvesting, well, that's totally different than somebody who's just not turning a profit. Who don't have any sales, I should say, not turn a profit, but somebody who doesn't have sales. So there's a difference between somebody who made $20 million in sales, but then turned around and reinvested $21 million into the company, $1 million of their own money back into the company. So even though they're reporting a loss, you could see on the financial report, oh, they didn't make no money, but they made $20 million in sales. So I'm gonna invest in this company because they ain't making no money, but for the long term, they gonna turn my money into something. With women like this who recently been single, you don't want to emotionally invest a whole lot into them because there's a great possibility that they're going to get back with their ex. That's why you want to know that question. Now, they might not watch my videos. I tell you guys to say a year or two, probably like a year, right? Because if you tell a woman 3, 4, 5 months, she gonna think the same and she's not gonna emotionally invest in you. Okay? And you might hate your ex. You might have a restraining order on her. But a woman ain't gonna care because she has enough sense to know that y'all might get back together. So you need to know that question, brother. Because if you don't, she's with a dude for 7 years and they've been broke up for 3 months. There's a great possibility that they're going to get back together. And that's going to leave you heartbroken. And here's the thing, guys. She was with this guy 8, 9, 10 years before you. She been broke up with him for 4, 5, 6 months. You thinking like 6 months, that's long. Not for an 8, 9, 10-year relationship. Guys, she might get back with this dude after a year. So you just need to be aware of that, guys. If you do find out, I'm not saying you can't mess with her, but emotionally don't invest into her. Okay, guys? Next, and for all y'all guys want to know the number one way you emotionally invest in stuff like that is with your time and your money. Your time and your money. Your time is the most valuable thing you have, and it takes time to make money, which is why you value it. It don't just fall from the sky. You worked for that money, so you value it. So it's still related to the time. It ain't about the money, it's the time it took you to make the money. Next, guys, why they broke up. You need to know why. For one, if it was a silly reason, you know they might get back together. 2, if it's a really good reason, like he fucked her sister, then you say, okay, this probably ain't getting back together. Or he was physically abusive. Like it's some things you know, like, okay, all right, I know that's over with, right? But if it was some goofy shit, you know, he didn't call her back on Tuesday night, then you know that's probably some shit that they can work out in the future. Especially if they was together a very long time and or have kids, guys, or a kid. But another thing, guys, it goes to accountability. So putting bullshit reasons aside, what you look at, guys, is what a woman is. You want to know how accountable she is. So when you ask her this, if everything was his fault, what does that tell you? That tells you she's the type of person that blames everything is the other person. She doesn't take accountability. So if y'all guys notice what I just said about those 3 heartbreaks I had before I was 25, I took accountability for them. What I said about the job, I was quitting jobs. I wouldn't work jobs. She should have left my ass for being irresponsible. She shouldn't be with no irresponsible motherfucker that don't want to work, who think he too good to work certain jobs. She should have left my ass. I hold myself accountable for that. I am, that little gold digging bitch. No. My ass walking off jobs, broke and shit. She should have left my ass. With the other girl, what did I say? I say I was being insecure. I ain't gonna blame her. Oh, the bitch, she's just a tramp and she for the streets. No. I hold myself accountable and I say I pushed her away being insecure. I hold myself accountable. I look at what I did in the situation and hold myself accountable. I said for the last girl, I said I should have asked her how long she had been single. Had I asked that, then I would have known not to invest emotionally into her. So I hold myself accountable. When you see a woman that's go, oh, he didn't listen, he didn't do this, he wasn't romantic. What the fuck did you do? No, just perfect angels, just in the kitchen, cooking and sucking. Cooking and sucking cock all day. You was just perfect. Never gave him no lip, no nothing. Just, oh man, ain't that nice, guys? Oh man, just perfect. Ain't that was your fault. Ain't that, oh man, you was just perfect. You was a perfect angel. What that word, what I used to say, guys? Sweet little angel. What you want to see from her is to say, well, I could have been less, argumentative. I could have, been less combative. Whatever, right? Whatever women do, whatever, right? Just, you want to see some accountability on her part. Because what happens when you get with a woman like this is when you say, hey, babe, you did that wrong. You know what she does? She go immediately and point out something you did. You left the toilet seat up. It's just, instead of just being accountable for what she has done. I want to see accountability. Own up to your mistakes in that relationship. Because what that let me know is, if it was all his fault, then that means you ain't learned shit from that. Guys, every relationship should teach you something. The reason I'm at where I'm at now, and the reason I've been in the longest relationship that I've ever been in, and we ain't never had one, stop talking, period. Not one. In over 5 years. Not one. Because I learned something from every previous situation. Every previous situation. For about the last 10 years now, guys, give or take something like that, maybe let's say 8 years. The girls that I have lost in that period of time have only been from my lack of commitment. I know how to keep a woman happy now. So I say the last 8, 10 years or whatever. It has only been due to I won't commit. I know to provide experiences. I know how to communicate. I know how to compromise. I know all that fucking bullshit now. I know how to keep a fucking woman. The only way I won't keep her is I won't shit and get off the pot. That's it. That's the only reason. And I can respect that. I can respect a woman that's getting up in age saying, I ain't got no more years to wait on this guy to give me a commitment. I can respect that. And if the girl I'm talking to now that's been over 5 years ever decide to do that, I can respect that also. I accept that consequence of being a red pill, non-monogamous, polyamorous guy. I accept that. Next, guys, how often does she travel? So this is now the big irresponsible hack that everybody does, right? What this tells you is how financially responsible she is. Because now everybody needs to take 8 trips a year. I'm going to tell y'all guys something. And this is, I hold social media at fault for this. Social media has middle class people thinking that they can travel like upper class people. International travel was meant for upper class people. Middle class people were supposed to take 1 to 2 international trips a year. People who make $75,000 to $100,000 or $50,000 to $100,000 a year, that does not equate to 4 international trips a year. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know on social media and you feel like you're entitled to do it too. I'm sorry. That does not equate to 4 international trips a year. So when I meet a woman and I know what she does and I know that's an $80,000 a year career or a $100,000 a year career, and you tell me you took 5 international trips last year, I already know you're in debt. Because just because you get on there and see Ashanti or Rihanna all over the goddamn world and shit, don't mean that you're entitled to do that. You're irresponsible. Now you guys say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with that. Well, who the hell you think she expect to pay for all that when y'all get committed? You think she expect to pay her portion of that? Okay, she'll pay for the sodas. You gonna have to pay for the plane, the hotel, all the experiences there. You can't build wealth like that with somebody who irresponsible like this, guys. You can't build wealth. One day you're gonna be 65, 70 years old and you're gonna wanna retire. With a woman like this, you work to the day you die. She's keeping up with the Joneses. So guys, the keeping up with the Joneses thing back in the day was, you know, you bought cars or you bought clothes and that was keeping up with the Joneses. Well, thanks to social media and Facebook and Instagram now, you keep up with the Joneses on social media, flaunting your trips. I'm in Italy. I'm in Russia. But you're going in debt for it. For all you guys who think debt ain't that bad, I think most of us know, but I want to explain to you just how bad it is, right? For all you guys, because some of you guys in debt right now, and you might not think nothing of it, right? Let me explain to you how debt works, all right? Especially compounding debt. I'm not talking about business debt, and I'm not talking about fixed debt, right? I'm talking about compounding debt, like credit cards, compounds, right? Let me explain to y'all how this works. You get $30,000 worth of available credit. You go out and you keep $3,000 or $2,000. You always pay the monthly minimum, right? But you always keep a balance that's tacking on interest, right? No big deal, right? No big deal. Ain't no big deal. Shit, what's the big deal, AMS? Listen, I'm paying a $200 a month minimum payment. I'm only $2,500 in debt. Shut the fuck up, AMS. That ain't even 10% of my available credit, brother. What's the big deal? Shut the hell up. I tell you what the big deal is. It's compounding. So right now you can afford the minimum payment. Right now the minimum payment may be $200, and you just gonna keep paying that minimum payment, right? A year from now, that minimum payment is $350 because now the interest is starting to compound because you just paying the minimum, right? You paying what you need to pay to stay in good credit standing. You ain't thinking about attacking the principal. You just paying what they say the minimum so you stay good with all the credit lenders and Equifax and all this other TransUnion and all. So you just like, hey, just pay the minimum. 5 years from now, it's $1,000 minimum payment. I'm still gonna afford that, AMS. 3 more years, it's $1,800 because the interest is compounding. You still paying the minimum. Eventually, how this works, and this is not an overnight thing, might take 12 years, 15 years to get here, but it would happen. One day, the minimum payment is too big because now it has compounded up to a number you can't pay. Now, whenever that's going to happen, I don't know. Everybody's different. But one day, your minimum payment gets to a point to where you can't afford it. Bankruptcy. Now you lose your access to credit. That's how this works, guys. Now you lose your access to credit. On another note, when you paying that interest, but you over here investing, you over here paying 20% interest for hopefully a 10% return on investment over here. So you investing into your Roth IRA to get a 10% return, 7 to 10% return. Meanwhile, over here on your credit card, you building up a 20 to 30% interest rate. So you still lose. So whatever you built up over here in your retirement account, you canceling it out and adding some over here with your debt. I say all that to just say this, guys. Stay the fuck away from women who are financially irresponsible. You see a woman that makes $75,000 a year talking about she takes 6 trips a year, run. Run, please run. I bet you anything she's in debt up to her eyeballs. Not to mention her student loan debt, compounded with credit card debt. Because she got to do it on the gram. Most of the people y'all see on social media that's doing it for the gram, they in debt up to their fucking eyeballs. Next, guys, how long was her longest relationship? Now, what this tells you is she even girlfriend, wifey material? Because what you see from women who know how to keep men, say you take a 30-year-old woman, right? What you'll typically see from women with good qualities and stuff like this, who listen, who ain't combative, is they'll say something like, well, that relationship was 7 years and the relationship for that was 5 years. What you see from women who just are, they might be attractive, is that men can only tolerate them for a certain amount of time. Certain amount of time. Men typically, if he find a woman attractive enough, he'll swallow his pride and ego. 6 months, a year. The booty gets old. He out the door. What you want to see from a woman, what you see from women who have long-term relationships is that men found them valuable enough to keep them around once the booty got old. Case in point, the chick I'm with now. Been 5 years. Obviously, I ain't fucking her the way I used to at the beginning, but she's still here because she has other attributes that I find that help and improve my life. I don't need to say, well, I'm going to get rid of her just to go get some new booty. In the words of the great Chris Rock, and Chris Rock must be Confucius or something because he done said a lot of great quotes. New booty can't talk. New booty can't cook. He's exactly right. So you got to turn that old booty into new booty. Any of y'all guys remember that Chris Rock stand-up special? He said that in. Put it in the comments. I can't remember which one it is. It was one of his, either his first or second one. So the point what I'm trying to say is when you see a woman that has all these short-term relationships, that's because outside of ass, she brings little value to your life. That's all she is ass. She's for the streets. Booty is going to get old. And for the 3 women that watching me, I hope you hear this part and hear it well. Booty is going to get old. 6 months, a year, maybe even 2 years. Who the fuck knows? Depending on how attractive the man finds you. That don't mean he's going to stop fucking you. Like I tell you guys, if you get with a woman you find very attractive, you'll forever be fucking her, but you ain't going to be fucking her like you did in the beginning. You'll stay fucking her. For guys on here that say they tired of fucking a girl all together, that's because she ain't that hot. I ain't saying you should be fucking her 3 times a day like you used to, but you still gonna at least fuck her once or twice a week. I'm telling you. So she just wasn't that hot to you to begin with. But then, if you bring no value, well then new booty brings me more value than old booty because you don't do shit. She don't do shit, so I might as well get with new booty. And that's why she can't keep no long-term relationship. She brings no value. Don't invest emotionally into a woman like that. And typically, guys, where that come from, guys, is that come from women who think that all they have to do is just bring ass. That's why they get so offended with the whole phrase, what do you bring to the table? And they get offended with that because they think, oh, I bring ass. I am the table. Okay, good. That works for 6 months. Wait till I ain't fucking you like I used to. Then you're going to find out why you need to bring more to the table. And lastly, guys, what's her relationship with her baby father? Obviously, if it fits the situation, right? I understand you guys don't date single mothers. I understand. None of you guys. But for the guys out there that do date single mothers, you want to know this, right? Because if she says the baby father is not in his life, it's either going to be from her vindictiveness or he was a pookie. You don't want to emotionally invest in vindictive women, and you don't want to invest in women who were dating pookies and now want you to come in and be the beta bucks. What does that mean? That means that she doesn't particularly like productive, good men, that she's more attractive to the rough around the edges guys, but she wants you to come in and be the beta provider type guy. That means that you really would never know if it's about you or just having a man who can provide in her life. So in other words, she probably never love you or get attached to you. She's just hit her phase where she's looking for somebody to be a productive provider for the guy, for the kid. I would not emotionally invest in a woman who was, her baby father was a pookie and you're a lawyer. I want a woman that can actually genuinely love me, not a woman who's like, oh, I need to go out and find somebody who's going to take care of my kid. Now, I do understand that women mature. And so if the kid is, say the woman is 32 years old, 33 years old, and the kid is 12 or 13, okay, well, maybe she's changed her life around and grew up out of it. If the baby is 2 or 3 or 4, bitch, you ain't changed that much that fast. You ain't changed that much that fast. You still want them pookie motherfuckers. You just want me to come in here and raise this motherfucker. And for all you guys out there that's like, no man should date single mothers, I'm gonna let you guys know this right here. I understand for you super young guys, but if you're a 35-year-old man watching this and you're a purple pill, I'm just gonna let you know that disqualifying women because of kids, and I can see she had 4, but like 1, maybe even 2, essentially what you're doing is why a lot of women are single. When I hear women say they don't want a man unless he makes 6 figures or he's over 6 feet tall, that's why you're single. So you can have this perfect feminine woman with a great career. Let's say you have a 32-year-old woman with a great career. She makes whatever, right? $75,000 a year, great career, right? Say she's a school teacher, right? Great career, got her own shit, college educated, feminine, submissive, can cook, but you gonna disqualify her because she got a kid. I'm gonna let y'all listen to all these red pill crazy guys on YouTube. You do what you fucking wanna do. I'm just gonna let you guys know that I understand for the guys who don't have kids or the guys who are very young, but for the guys who are 35, 40, and all that type of shit, when you rule out this sector of women, possible candidates, just because she has a kid, I'm just letting you know that you eliminating a good pool of women over goofy shit. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm not trying to push y'all guys to single mothers and come in with your Captain Save-A-Hole cape on. I'm just being realistic with y'all guys and letting y'all guys know that those pre-qualifiers is the same shit that women be doing to men. He ain't 6 feet. He don't make 6 figures. He ain't got 6-pack abs. Or women too. He got a kid. Let's put it on the women too. Disqualify a man because he has kids. So you're a 32-year-old woman. You meet a 35-year-old man who has 2 kids, who got a great career, got a lot, but he got 2 kids, and you want to disqualify him? The same go for you. The same go for you. With all that being said, I still ain't finna do it with no woman who got like no young kid, and the dude before me was a pookie. Nah. Nope, can't do it. Cause I know how you look at me. I'm just the savior. I ain't gonna be the savior. I do know women mature, people mature, and their interests change. They ain't changed that goddamn fast. They ain't changed in 3 years. They ain't changed in 4 years. They might change in 10, but they ain't changed in 4. You still want them pookie motherfuckers. I ain't finna come in and save your goddamn ass. But anyway, guys, these are the questions you should ask women on a date if you're purple pill, if you're a guy who's open to a relationship, all right? If you're red pill, you can kind of just wing it. I typically just like wing it, like whatever the conversation leads, right? I don't even have to go in with no preconceived strategy or nothing. I just flow with the conversation. I don't even have to go in with like questions or nothing, because I'm not emotionally invested in, so I don't need to find out this shit. But if you're a guy that want to be in something serious, you definitely need to know this shit, so it shows you how to emotionally invest. Okay, guys? All right, guys. I'll get back with you guys next time.